We can't start yet. I gotta do the proper thing. There we go. All right, and we're live. Welcome to the Crafty Boys, where we drink beer and do all kinds of bullshit online because that's how we are. Hi, welcome.
Hello.
So today, the beer is 2. The first beer is this.
It's actually
Bridge
3.
Brewing. Is it 3? Oh, okay. Bridge Brewing, Ironworkers Bridge IPA. What is your beer, Alan?
I have it's either Duvel or Duvel. It is a Belgian strong
Duvel.
blonde, which sounds like wife material, not a beer. But
That's
it's
true.
a Belgian
That is very true.
strong blonde. Clocks in at 8.5%. Whew.
8.5%, and I actually didn't read out what mine is. Mine is a measly, 6.4. Okay, there we go. Ed Locke, what is your beer this evening, sir?
So I have a iteration of Duvel or Double, or whichever you prefer as product, called Triple Hop Cashmere.
Triple Hop Cashmere.
Nice.
And this one clocks in, and you note they've added an extra sticker there because this is an import. 9.5%. So
Wow.
This is strongish.
They put an extra sticker on. Yeah, mine doesn't have an extra sticker.
Yeah,
Mine's actually
I
printed
don't
on
know-
the label.
I don't know what sense to make of that. I'll tell you what's. But the back label evidently was printed. Okay, I have all kinds of questions now. I now think that there's something awfully suspicious about all of this because there's another additional sticker. I see the back sticker has been modified, such as pasted entirely over. So you see,
So same as mine, I think.
yeah, and as you can see, it's telling you all about Quebec and recycling. So evidently, this is not really meant for the rest of Canada. This is meant for Quebec.
All right, I'm popping mine open.
It
I am
describes
pouring mine. This is a hazy, it would appear. And that's the color of it there. It's actually kind of a peach, lemony sort of mix.
Mm-hmm.
And it smells amazing.
I'm
Oh,
kind of
wow.
curious about this because I had noted that here in Victoria, I have not seen any bridge product since at least the fall.
Heavily hopped with Sabro and Mosaic, this juicy IPA has the aroma and taste of citrus, tropical and stone fruits with hints of coconut and mint. This balanced brew is the perfect daily driver for your taste buds. But you can't have a daily driver anymore because Justin says no. Justin says 2 drinks per week and no more. Hey, Peanut Gallery. There's beer here for you. Hand it over. You have to come get it. It's right here. Here you go. There you are. So this will be my first drink of the week. I've had nothing since last week.
You know it's not a law, right? Nobody cares.
Actually, I did notice a story about that. So the guidelines are sparking debate in 2 Drinks Canada. There was somebody that was saying, well, you should really know about the new guidelines. And some people are accusing Canada of hating beer, which I thought was like, we hate hockey too. What are you talking about? So here we go. I'm going to smell aromatic excitement. Oh. That is like drinking fruit. That is a fruit explosion in your mouth.
Oh. And it's an IPA?
It is. And it is It's got a sweet, very incredibly fruity hit, and then the hops temper that with awesomeness. So, wow, I'm actually kind of surprised. Well, I'm not surprised because we've had Bridge Brewing stuff before, and it's never disappointed. But that they really mean it when they're meaning a juicy IPA. So
when did you pick that up?
To be honest, I don't remember. Like in December at some point, and they came here, and I can't remember where I got them. I think I got them in Victoria. I think I did.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, wow, that's tasty. I like that one. I give it a thumbs up. Thank you very much for making such a product, Bridge Brewing. This actually makes up for the fact that I believe it was Bridge Brewing that ditched a beer I really liked, and I can't remember what it was called, but they got rid of it, and it made me sad. I'm pretty sure.
Well, I noticed that this year they didn't, at least not in Victoria anyway. There was no Santa's Sack, which is a really good beer.
You're right.
Like I always make sure to get it, and I looked for it, and I couldn't find it anywhere.
Yeah, Bridge got rid of an IPA that they called, I want to say Clear Cut beer, Clear Cut IPA. And that made me sad that was not. But you're right. So it is Bridge that makes Santa's Sack. Okay.
Yeah.
I actually didn't even notice that because we've had Santa's Sack a number of times, at least during the holidays, and I remember liking that one.
Maybe next year or this year.
I certainly hope that it comes back. But hey, the last few years have been all over the place. Hopefully, the world will feel sane next or later later this year. It's already 2023, boys. All right, Locke, or who's next? Tell me about the beer.
Yeah, Locke, you can go.
Yeah, so already, at least here in Canada, there's some sanity going on. The Bank of Canada has noted that they are thinking that they're not going to keep raising interest rates, which is a world first for this round of inflation. So, yeah, we will see where the insanity lands. But for the moment, I have this quaffable, which is a dangerous thing for 9.5%, quaffable drink called Triple Hop Cashmere. It describes on the back, cashmere hops give this Duvel a tropical touch of citrus, melon, and coconut. Odd that coconut seems to be coming up in people's description of beers lately. The result, silky smooth, refreshing, and perfectly balanced beer. Heavenly. Is it perfectly balanced? Now, my guide for what a perfectly balanced beer tastes like. In the past, I will admit it is a Deschutes product called Mirror Pond. And the reason it's called Mirror Pond is because you sort of get this reflection where there's this symmetry, right? And the idea is that the malt is perfectly balanced with the hops. Is this quite the case here? I don't know how balanced it is, but it's tasty.
Okay.
I don't taste the coconut. Don't think I taste the melons. But this is a very smooth for what it is, which is a triple Belgian that is also an IPA. Like
it's kind of weird, isn't it?
It's quaffable. It's very easy drinking for such a high claim. Yeah.
Right.
Alan.
All right. So I was supposed to get the same thing as Locke, and I couldn't find it. I ended up getting the as previously noted, the Belgian Strong Blonde from the same company. You know, it just tastes like a regular Belgian beer. The head is really foamy.
Yeah.
It's actually really nice. Really sticking to the size of the glass, and the lacing on it's really good. The head actually on it was probably about 2 fingers. We're down to about 1 now. But I think that 1 is going to stick around for a little while. It's almost like
mine not so much.
You got a bit of a mustache drinking this.
Huh.
Oh, maybe not. But it's there. It's frothy. It's it's almost like marshmallow whip ish.
Okay.
And that's really interesting. The beer itself just tastes like a Belgian beer. There's nothing really all that special about it. I don't think I'd get it again. But I mean, it's enjoyable for what it is.
Does it class as a double or triple?
No.
Is it multiple fermentations?
No.
Okay.
No, it just says it's a Belgian strong blonde.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's just like a at 8.5%, and like yours, it's very quaffable. Like I could chug this.
Yeah.
Right now, which is dangerous at 8.5%.
Go.
But other than that, I mean, it just tastes like your regular Belgian beer. Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, our beers this week are pretty awesome. But I want to point out that Locke has a new mission. So, Locke, I just want you to know that your mission, should you choose to accept it, is this. This is a brewing organization called Henderson Brewing Co.
Yep.
They're sort of near the airport-ish in your general vicinity. But you'll notice over here on the right-hand side, Rush X. What is that? Is that the Rush logo? What is that? Oh my goodness.
That is indeed Rush beer, yes.
This is a website called Brave Words. They talk about a lot of stuff, but Rush cuts the mustard with a new beer. So this is the Rush Canadian Golden Ale, and mustard. Colzack's Canadian Mustard is a whole grain beer mustard made with our Rush Henderson Canadian Golden Ale. The magic pairing of honey-infused mustard with the dry, bitter finish of Rush Canadian Golden Ale makes this the perfect addition to your condiment lineup. And this is why I thought this would be funny to see, is that Alex from Rush, of course, has tasting notes.
Yeah, of course he does.
So here we go, moving into the... After extensive and pretty serious scientific analysis using only the highest quality hot dogs, Colzack's Rush Mustard has been birthed. The magical pairing of this honey-infused mustard with the legendary Rush Canadian Golden Ale fuses to forge one, if not the most compelling mustards ever created that I currently have in my kitchen. With the Colzack's Mustard Labs possibly running 24 hours a day in pursuit of the most excellent mustard in all history, and like the smashing of the first atom, the meeting of mustard, honey, and vinegar with the Canadian Golden Ale ignited a virtual explosion heard round the room, kind of. This is perhaps the apex of mustards. So good, you could put it on top of another mustard you used by accident. Made with loving care, not to get it in your eyes, try Colzack's Rush Mustard and be transported to a time when mustard freely roamed the plains in the days before ketchup. So there you go. I saw that and I was sold.
Peak mustard.
So they've taken their beer and it is now lovingly been married to mustard. So there you go. I read that earlier today and I thought this must be on the show today.
Right.
So there you go. Rush is still
Okay.
actually. I was surprised their beer was still around, to be honest.
Presumably, we can all get a hold of the Rush beer. Yeah.
I haven't
You
seen.
know, I've never seen it out here. However, for $200 you can buy a keg. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it.
Okay. Project time. You've mailed me beer successfully in the past. I shall mail you beer. We'll sort this out. We'll figure out a way to do this.
Yeah, we'll
It
figure it out.
looks like you can get the tall boys. Yeah.
Could do the Rush Henderson Golden Ale.
You can get the tall cans at the Henderson Brewing Company's location.
But let me ask, Locke, have you had it before?
No.
No. Are you familiar with Henderson's product?
Oh, completely, yeah. Henderson's UPA, which I don't know what that actually stands for. It's I think it's a play on words. Anyway, Henderson's does a good job. They're a solid brewery.
I just wanted to point this out to you, Locke. You can actually get a growler of the Canadian Golden Ale.
Oh, look at that! Yeah. So I'm guessing that would be at their location in Toronto.
Yes.
If that is so.
Yep.
So I noticed that this appeared on the Brave Words website. Brave Words used to put out a CD compilation of metal bands called Brave Words and Bloody Knuckles.
Sweet.
And they were highly collectible. I have a few. They came out with 40 editions or something like that. But anyway, Henderson's Brewery, speaking of heavy metal Canadiana, used to be located underneath. Actually, I think they were probably there first. They're located in a location.
Located in a location?
In a location where upstairs was, for a while anyway, I don't know if it's still true, but Banger Films. So another Victorian boy, Sam Dunn, he made Metal A Headbanger's Journey, the documentary, and has since gone on to many other documentaries on famous, metal guys like Alice Cooper. I think he also did the ZZ Top documentary, which was very, very good.
Well, they did Rush's
did he do
Beyond
that?
the Lighted Stage. They did Iron Maiden Flight 666.
Yes. He toured with and it's a commemorative product. In the last few months, the Royal Mail in England has released Iron Maiden commemorative stamps. These Iron Maiden commemorative stamps include the visage, and this shows that this was one of the last things she did before she went, of Queen Elizabeth II. I think I need a set. Of rock bands that have been so honored in the past, this puts them in the same company as the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Pink Floyd, and of course, if you were the Queen, you would, wouldn't you? Queen.
Yeah, of course.
You would, wouldn't you?
You know what's really funny? Banger Films is in the same building as Henderson Brewing.
Well,
that's what I thought. Yeah, okay,
okay. So confirmed. That I need to go there now. Why am I not there now? Hey, Peanut Gallery, I'm moving to Toronto. I just got laughed at. So so confirmed they are in the same building. That's kind of cool. Anyway, why we have to make a road trip to Toronto, Al. That's just the rules. We have to go to Toronto and
Yep.
drink all the Toronto beer.
On the
I
way,
guess- I get the-
on the
You
way,
have,
Shane,
as my niece likes to say, you have to do that.
on the way, we will go to Penticton and check out breweries there. We'll skip Alberta.
Okay.
I just said that for long.
Yeah, he's fucking.
We'll go through Calgary and go to Big Rock and stuff like that.
Good shit.
And then we'll go to Saskatchewan and check out some of the breweries that we saw before. I think we'll skip Manitoba.
Yeah, he's still fucking.
Yeah, and then we'll go through to Ontario, or Ontarable, as I sometimes.
There's really nothing more to see past Thunder Bay.
I've been there before. I've been to Lindsay, Kawartha Lakes, and
Oh, Kawartha's nice. Kawartha's awesome. I like Kawartha.
it's great in summer. I wouldn't want to go in the winter.
No.
Yeah,
Definitely not.
not a lot of skiing there.
Although in the summer, mosquitoes, man, holy crap! So I went to go visit my wife's. My wife was going out there, and I went with her to visit some of her extended family. And her uncle took us fishing to this lake, and it was like dusk, and literally it was just like this wall of mosquitoes, and it's like when you're breathing in mosquitoes. It was disgusting. It was gross. I chickened out. I went back to the truck and I said, "I'm staying in the truck until you guys are done." They were fine out there, not me. No way. It was just so many mosquitoes. Holy, like
Breathing mosquitoes is an art that you develop over time, but yeah, it's rough.
yeah. Now I've never experienced that before. Like to me, bad mosquitoes is like when you're sleeping in the tent out in like the Pacific Northwest, and occasionally you hear sort of one go right
Oh, but
near your ear.
that's almost worse than a swarm of them because now you're paranoid, and that sound you can't. I don't know. It's like they've somehow managed to match exactly the right pitch to cause maximum discomfort in people. Like the sound of a mosquito is worse than a crying baby, in my humble opinion.
True. Well,
I mean, I guess maybe the difference is the crying baby won't be trying to suck your blood, I guess, is maybe the difference. But most of the time.
unless it's Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah.
Junior, what are you doing? I'm just sucking your blood, Daddy. Oh, is that all? I needed to live.
That's so just disturbing in all ways. Although, I was reading an article the other day about how somebody was criticizing some movies that are coming out this year, where children are killed. Apparently, that's bad. You're not allowed to kill children, which I didn't realize was a thing.
It's in
but
poor form, I think. Yeah.
But the
Animals too.
So the director said, "I'm sorry, the story is about the end of the world and a child dies to save the world. So sorry, there's a lot more going on than just a child getting murdered." And yeah, so I was just kind of curious what you guys would think about that. If you were making a movie right now and somebody told you what you could and could not do, what would your response be?
I'd be like, I could do whatever I want. If it's key to the story, then
if it's key to the story. No, I'm not. I just pretend that the film is like the best film ever, the strongest script ever. Like it's not just some glorification of the killing of people.
I'm sorry. There's levels of sophistication that I don't want to claim, but I sort of do need to ask. Like, so the distributor isn't going to pull the plug on the basis of this decision, right? Like this.
No.
This isn't about whether the distributor agrees or whether, was there a broadcaster involved? Like. Truthfully, nobody senses anything anymore because the commercial outlook of the distributors tends to do that anyway. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it was on YouTube, if we were releasing this on YouTube, then I guess the question is, well, will it be demonetized? Is that the right language, Shane?
I mean, yes, I would say so in a vague kind of way.
Like my observation is that censorship doesn't happen where people think censorship happens. They think that's a government thing. I don't agree. I think that's
it's a market.
The market adjusting to what they think their reputation will bear.
Okay.
Game of Thrones action figures in Canadian Tire. Thoughts? You remember the scene where Jeffrey's like taking crossbow shots at hookers, right? Like,
yeah.
Action figures, really?
They've done action figures they did action figures for RoboCop way back in the day. They did action figures for the Terminator.
And Canadian Tire.
Toys for non-kid movies for decades.
Yeah.
Here's something I read today.
It does. If eyebrows are raised by the killing of a child on a screen, when that happens daily in places like Nigeria, because they've been conscripted as soldiers, I don't know. There's a level of squeamishness that looks a little bit like sin itself. You know what I mean?
I suppose, yeah.
Talking about censorship and stuff. So I read this today. I didn't even realize that there was an uproar. I don't even know if there was an uproar. But A&W in the United States.
Oh, there's an uproar. Yeah, I've heard
announced that Barry, the A&W root bear, who has always worn an orange sweater, apparently people are up in arms because Barry doesn't wear any pants.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, so the mascot just wears an orange sweater and no pants. So now going forward, Barry will be wearing blue jeans with his orange sweater. Because apparently a bear without pants that has no anatomy or anything, it's just like a mascot. Apparently that's offensive to some people.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I've heard about it, so I know this to be true. I know that there is outrage surrounding this. What? Fucking what?
Dude, okay, hang on. I just want to bring up Exhibit A. Exhibit A.
Dogs to wear sweaters.
No, that's Yogi Bear. It's
Yogi Bear, but notice something he's not wearing. He's wearing a tie and a collar,
but no clothes.
Do you feel
he's got a hat? He's got a pretty kick-ass hat.
So you can understand people's consternation.
I think people have gone fucking crazy. When I hear stuff like this, it drives me nuts.
Hold on. Okay. Yeah, no, I heard about this. M&M's Spokes Candies gap.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you, what is the Spokes Candy?
Okay, I know this was predicated on another scandal of equally idiotic proportions, but what the fuck?
Is this that thing about the green M&M thing where it's like the green M&M is Let's
Oh, I thought
talk.
it was-
In the last year, we made some changes to
I
our
thought it
beloved
was the
spokes.
M&Ms that were the problem.
Oh, okay. This is part. Yeah. Okay. I gather the. I don't care about this. Why is this on my screen? Get lost.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
This
Yeah, they
gives me some
changed. They
context.
changed the female characters to wear different shoes. I think is that right? Because the brown M&M is wearing business heels. The whatever this purple one is, I guess, is that an almond? Is now wearing sort of boots, and I gather a lot of this had to do with this M&M here, these stupid shoes. So,
Oh my God! In the future, will Nike be advertising its products on M&M models?
oh, probably.
Fuck's
But
sake!
Okay. So this gives me some context because A&W put out a tweet today, made a graphic that looked exactly like this. It started off with "America, let's talk," and put out a statement about the A&W root beer, which makes me think that maybe it was a response, a public response to this.
I'm gonna see if I can find it here. Our burgers.
Okay. Do we at least have we at least narrowed down who's offended by this? Is it Floridians who support DeSantis, or is it fucking?
It's got to be MAGA people. I mean, come on.
You gotta imagine so, but why would this be? Oh, I get
Okay,
it.
I found it. Here we go. So yeah, this is the
rainbows. Target.
Says 90 the Rudy the Great Root Bear. I'd forgotten there was even a mascot for A&W, to be honest. Many people notice he's literally a 6-foot bear wearing an orange sweater.
Yeah, I
get it.
actually
Even the
imagine
mascot can be
when you
polarizing.
describe the root bear, but yeah.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't know what to think of this. I don't have the full context of what's going on. But here's the reality. I'd be curious as to why this is actually a thing. Who actually are they answering? Because I don't know anything about this. I'm gonna have to do a bit of research on exactly where the uproar came from.
Okay, hold on. Here's a possibility that I want you to entertain. Okay. They're not answering anybody.
No, exactly. And but here's
to create controversy.
Well, this is my question is this a company actually being like, we need to bow down to whomever the voices complaining are, or is this that they're like, hey, let's do a refresh, what should we do? And they're all really bored, it's right before Christmas, they're like, I don't know, do you want to put some pants on the bear?
Fucking marketing
and it's like, and they're like, yeah, I guess so. Why? Oh, we can make up like we got in trouble for not wearing pants. Okay, sure. That to me is probably what's going on, but I don't know.
Extent to which you can reasonably argue for the wages of most marketing employees, like I got to imagine that factors into this somehow. Like how do you justify that I'm really doing something for your company when I'm not actually doing anything? And that's actually back to the monarchy. The reason they're important isn't because of what they do, it's because of what they don't do, are not allowed to do, right? I mean, that's why you have a marketing team. It's not you great ideas. It's so that all those idiots that come up with great ideas, you pound them down and say, no, we're not doing that. No, shut up.
But can I be honest here? Like, jokingly over the years, I remember me and my friends, we always used to poke fun at mascots, like not necessarily specifically the A&W root bear, but used to poke fun at the fact that some of these mascots never wore pants. I mean, we're just kidding around, right? I mean, it's like, oh, look, he's not wearing any pants. I mean, we weren't offended or in an uproar about it, but I mean, we noticed, right?
put it this
I
way.
guess I didn't.
So is the opposite side of this argument that we should be bestowing our mascots with styrofoam junk, whether it's you know what I mean, whether it's gender appropriate, one supposes, whatever that means nowadays.
That is a very good question of whether or not we should have all styrofoam junk placed over the junk of all characters. Mickey Mouse walking around. Mickey Mouse doesn't normally wear pants. I don't see people complaining about that.
Bugs Bunny doesn't wear pants.
That's true. And he dresses like a woman.
I'm just looking it up. Smokey the Bear does wear pants.
Will you show up and prove it?
Sorry, wait, what?
I don't wear
Bugs
pants.
Bunny? Well, this is the thing, is that I don't quite I mean, now, I'm going to run on the assumption that this is completely a fabricated, marketing gimmick.
I think
that I mean,
a part of the M&M one isn't.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say, is that I think it's born out of that M&M, the character models changing, like they drew them slightly differently to modernize them because they hadn't changed them in a while, and that apparently caused a big uproar. And then they had the whole purple introduction thing.
Maybe the problem is that people just have too much time on their hands.
Well,
during the pandemic, I would agree.
Seriously, I mean, with all these businesses going out of business because they can't find employees, I know where they can find employees. Look for all the people being outraged over the fact that the root beer doesn't have any pants.
You know what that might have been? Generative AI.
Generative AI, okay, yeah.
Somebody, executed generative AI on A&W, and the AI flagged that this thing doesn't have pants. Oh, I know.
It was the machine, Sarah.
With the appropriate organs that you would expect. Yeah.
Powerful.
And maybe that generative AI
hooked into everything.
Hooked into everything. Trusted to run it all. They say it got smart. And then saw all mascots as a threat, not just the ones on the other side. Decided our fate in a microsecond. Pants.
Oh my God, that is some awesome callback from Terminator.
Yeah,
the original one.
The original
one, yeah.
Yes. Has Arnold Schwarzenegger chimed in on this issue?
I would think probably not. Maybe
he's too busy, going to the chopper and using the alien technology. Get to the chopper!
Sorry, I was just enjoying that. Speaking of AI art or AI generated anything, here's a debut of my latest AI works. I've spent many an hour on this, so I certainly hope that you appreciate it. Because it might have taken like a minute and a half. But here you go.
Minute and a half.
The debut of my latest art. I call it Pug in a Brown Room.
Well, hello.
It's a lot of wrinkles.
It is a lot of wrinkles. I spent a good probably...
Let me ask you this. Could you print this, sign it, and pass it off as professional art and sell it?
Why not? No
reason not to. A better question is, could you turn it into an NFT and pass it off as currency?
Yeah. Oh, probably. But yes, on both counts. Speaking, and this is actually why I brought up the AI art thing, because AI art is finally getting a lawsuit, like a class action of a bunch of artists.
Yes, this
is because to give whoever cares, basically the whole idea is that an organization created this very large database of training images that they then used to train the AI system on, where it would understand what, say, the example that's always given is, what does an apple look like? So it's given a bunch of apples, it learns what an apple is, and then it's able to reconstruct an apple afterwards. However, a bunch of the training data, of course, for painting styles and all kinds of things, was more about was being trained on artwork that they just scooped from the internet. So a lot of people's art was thrown into this 5.6 billion images were used in this overall training data, and which I agree they shouldn't have done that. I mean that to me is like copyright 101. You want to train something, there's more public domain stuff than there's contemporary stuff in the last 50 years.
So,
go.
What, like Capatches?
Is it the what, sorry?
Capatches or whatever you call them.
Oh, captures?
You prove you're not.
Oh, I see. No, well, no. What I'm saying is that, well, the very base, yeah, the training stuff they just threw in and trained on how to learn to draw it, or to draw those things, those style, like painting styles, all kinds of things. And but anyway, so now, but because the laws are about copyright, but they're also about fair use, they're also about transformative, they're also about derivative. There's all these sort of components that are coming together.
The U.S. laws.
These are all U.S. laws at the moment. So, because that's where the lawsuit is taking place. So, the examples that I've seen recently are about the digitization of books. That Google got sued by a bunch of publishers about that whole thing. However, Google won. They said, "I'm sorry, they're making the books more accessible. They're making them findable. They're not publishing the whole book. They're giving a few pages as an example, and then the rest is just categorized for findability." Which makes it transformative because they are being used to advertise the books that you are making, and that kind of stuff. The same thing for a couple other things that Google's run into specifically, because Google's of course a monster, but
as compared to Apple.
Well, yeah, exactly. But the reality is, I think that I think the American fair use thing is probably going to land hard on their decision, because they have to prove that the AI software or this AI machine learning is actually copying, but it's kind of a mysterious technology in a black box still a little bit. So, I mean, that's just my opinion. I don't actually know what
U.S. I'm familiar with both U.S. and Canadian copyright law. What I can tell you about that in short terms is that they have diverged radically. The Canadian perspective I don't currently support, but then again, maybe I don't understand it thoroughly yet. The American perspective is relatively ubiquitous because they're the most litigious and most commercially vocal society on the planet. So they're generating more material and they're fighting over it more. And frankly, the problem with all of this is that I know the roots of it, and that is that the Copyright Act came into force in the early 18th century because William Hogarth, a man who I thoroughly support and thoroughly think was a good egg, but fundamentally, the protection of copyright was a public interest issue. It's a public interest that innovation occurs.
Yeah, exactly. And that's
yeah. The problem that we face today in terms of copyright law is that that's really, really no longer true. To the extent that copyright laws do anything, what they do is they stifle innovation rather than foster it. The people who are most likely to innovate are not the people who own the copyrights. The rise of memes, where you're taking material, which is clearly in the public sphere, and adjusting it slightly to make a point, is a perfect example in that, to the extent that you enforce copyright, you're stifling speech, you're stifling expression, you're stifling creativity. In this day and age, the last thing we need is somebody coming up with some new way to filter microplastics into our bodies. What we really need are people who can take, let's say, recycle some of what's already out into the universe, and that ultimately we would gain more benefit from the further digestion of. You see what I mean?
Well, that's what I'm agreeing with you in every way, because I mean, I want to be able to create pugs in 3-piece suits. Like that to me.
That is. Did you just do that? Did you do
Well,
that?
I did no, I did this a couple days ago, but
Okay.
well, give me something you'd like to see, and I'll run it right now. I might stutter and stuff because it'll beat my video card to death, but give me something you want to see right now. What would you like me to draw while we're talking about this particular thing?
A penguin smoking a cigar.
Where would you like this penguin to be?
Westminster Abbey.
Okay. Keep talking, because this will take a minute. Keep talking.
I guess one of the things that troubles me about all of this is I don't think human beings really understand our relationship with, the externalization of our own species bullshit, right? We've externalized a lot of our bullshit. That's probably good, probably healthy. The problem is that instead of disappearing into the netherworld, that bullshit continues to haze above us like a cloud. And successive generations born into this crazy relationship look at that cloud, they see the bullshit, and they imagine that that's somehow truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, everybody seems to love Avatar, and to be fair, I'm an enthusiast for James Cameron to this point, that I think, as a follower of his career, The Way of Water is exactly what has always been his driving principle. Like, from the earliest times all the way through his adoption of digital technology, he's been trying to film water in meaningful ways. From early days, Piranha, or I think it was Piranha 2, actually. But he likes water. He's into it. So I understand why he would see digital technology and the ability to simulate liquid moving patterns and go, okay, this is something that I want to take, so to speak, a deep dive into. Titanic, like the man is a
The
accomplished submarine. He's a submariner.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's joking around. He really means it when he says The Way of Water. And yet, for a film, let's say now a series of films, that were so intent on being convincingly three-dimensional, the characters are fucking cardboard, aren't they? Yeah? like the villains are just they're the mean baddies that you would like. There's to the extent that he nuanced any of the relationships at all in the whole. He had the mean cardboard baddie suffer a little bit, but like ultimately, at the end of the day, he's still selling the same bullshit, which is the idea that, and this is an odd position for a man whose whole career has been about the way of water. His position seems to be that of the old blood and soil argument that people are what they are, and their fundamentals relate to where they come from, their base tribe, rather than what they can achieve by exploring other worlds. In that respect, I look at James Cameron and I think to myself, did you miss out on, I think, sort of the more meaningful aspects of Star Trek? Because that was all about exploring. That was all about meeting new worlds, not closing them off. Not.
So you're saying that the technology being has evolved to the point where it's necessary. That we should accept that this is the future and not fight for the old way.
Oh well, yeah, look. What I'm saying is the old ways always work because they're predicated on thousands of years of experience. The new ways are so relatively new that navigating them, especially when they intercourse with other new ways, which is to say anything in the last 500 years, is relatively terra nova for our species. We don't know what we're doing. We're chasing Lord knows what for reasons that we have difficulty expressing, even at the best of times. And at the end of the day, the result is always and inevitably the same, which is to say that we're still at war, aren't we? Look at the Ukraine.
Yeah. So basically, if you know anything about what's going on in that world, the whole tank thing happening today, where
Yep.
Germany and is it Poland as well, and the U.S. are sending tanks to the Ukrainians.
Poland was holding off because of Germany, but yeah. And presumably, Biden was waiting to see what Germany would do too.
Yeah.
You could see Russia would take that as a dangerous move.
Yeah. I mean, I just think it's just one of those situations that I don't know what this thing is doing. By the way, sorry, while you're chatting away, I'll just share this. This is basically.
This is yeah.
So there you go. So it's given it two beaks for some reason, unsure, but that definitely looks like Westminster Abbey.
Yeah.
It has a cigarette though, but basically
human hands.
And human hands, yeah, true. But this is the this one here is.
Is it giving you alternatives?
Oh yeah, I've done like 4 or 5 right now. So here is this one. So that's this. I don't know what it's trying to do there, but apparently Westminster Abbey is blowing smoke out of its building.
Yes, of course it is.
And I have one more that I just did somewhere here. Where did you go? And for some reason, this one is interesting to me because it has a gentleman who is trying to smoke out the side of his head and has a penguin in his pocket. So I don't know what the system was doing for this one, but this is just fiddling for a few minutes. But essentially, think of what you could do after spending an hour trying to get the right structure of words, making sure it understands what you're doing. But anyway, enough of that. It's now 10 o'clock. Alan is yawning, and so that means it's time to go to bed. So we'll see you all next week. There will be one other episode in between now and next week where Alan and I have to drink the second day of the 12 days of Christmas beer. But yeah, so we'll see you all then. Thank you all for watching.
When is that happening? Just
we are just playing it by ear at the moment.
All right.
So probably Friday or Saturday, one of the two.
Yeah.
Fire me an email to me.
I'll remind you. All right, everyone. Everything for how to follow us that's everywhere on the internet. You'll find us, and we'll see you all next week. And as always,
Shane, take a sip.
Drink good beer. Yeah, Alan. Crap. Hang on. Hang on. I got to do the right thing. Here we go. Oh, that was not the right thing.